I am someone that tries to understand what goes into a game. The time, the effort, the money that could have potentially went into a title, so I have always tried to defend specific monetization methods in games, such as when one comes out and it has cosmetic items, such as costumes or skins, as long as those items do not hold any stats that could affect the gameplay itself. Because ultimately, there does need to be money made past the initial wave of sales for a game. It's just how business works, and obviously companies want to stay in business. As someone that plays a lot of AAA titles, I do know that this is an easy way to monetize a game, besides of course the average DLC. It's just something that we need to accept in this day and age where games are coming out very quickly, and if a game interests you, they want you to spend more money on it. It's just how it works. And I have defended cosmetic monetization methods in games before, but what I will not defend is when companies monetize items that directly affect gameplay itself, and that is what Ubisoft has done with Ghost Recon Breakpoint. The first layer of monetization that this game has, like most AAA titles, are different packages when you initially purchase the game. You have the $60 version, which contains no bonus content. It is just the game with as little as possible offered. You have the Gold edition, which gave you early access, and you also receive a 1-year pass. And then you have the Ultimate and Collector's editions, which throw exclusive content at you, like cosmetic items and missions. But after that initial layer of monetization, they have attempted to monetize and sell cosmetic items, which I am okay with, like I said, but they have pushed the limits and also tried to monetize things like attachments for weapons and even weapons themselves, weapons upgrades, and they have even added in something called a time saver bundle, which contains things like skill points, crafting materials, and weapons upgrades. All things that have a direct impact on gameplay. First of all, this is absolutely ridiculous that they would even think this is a good idea, to monetize such specific content and that you cannot play the game without, especially with how much negativity is surrounding microtransactions currently. But their excuse was awful. They practically said, "We're sorry for getting caught because these items weren't even meant to be in the game yet." This is the statement they made on their little mistake. With Ghost Recon Breakpoint, we've always aimed at offering a fair and rewarding experience to our players however they want to experience our game in solo, co-op, PvE, or PvP. From the beginning, 2 key factors stood out as extremely important for the team. One, that Ghost Recon Breakpoint doesn't include any pay-to-win elements, and 2, to make sure that players are not choosing to engage with in-game purchases do not see their experiences affected. Players will be able to unlock skills and get access to plenty of varied loot and items by simply playing the game. Well, unfortunately, as we can see with the monetization methods that they took, none of these actually happened. Time savers. We are aware that during the early access of Ghost Recon Breakpoint on October 1st, some time savers items, skill point bundles, XP boosters, parts bundles for advanced weapon upgrades, were available for purchase for a few hours in our store, but this was not our intention and was an error on our behalf. These items were designed as an optional way for players arriving later in the game to catch up with those who have been playing for longer and enjoy our co-op and challenging endgame experiences. These time saver bundles have been since removed from our store for now. For now. They were not designed to grant any advantage over players choosing not to use them. Additionally, Ghost War PvP has been carefully balanced to ensure no matter what your experience as a player, no one has a critical advantage based on their progression. The fact that they said these items were not meant to be available just yet meant that they were going to implement them later in the game's lifetime. I understand that they wanted to maybe add in catch-up mechanics, but Catch-up mechanics are really a line that a lot of players do not want to cross. They do not accept them. I personally feel on the fence about in-game catch-up mechanics, because on one hand, yes, they are useful for people that just want to get into endgame content, but at the same time, a game is about the journey and not just the destination and not where you are going. It's so obvious that they did this so the game would get a solid review, sell a lot of copies over the holidays, then right after the holidays, they would have implemented these pay-to-win features. Let's put aside what you could actually purchase with real money and look at the way Ubisoft is acting here. They were willingly going to hide major pieces of information like this until the time was right for them, and then they can just backhand consumers. They really are just showing you to what extent some companies are willing to go, how far they are willing to go to get a good review score, and then even if they know just a few months later, they will actually add these and ruin the goodwill that they had. I usually do not purchase games on initial release for many various reasons, but these types of situations push me even further away from purchasing a game on release. This is happening more and more, and I do not want to support a product when we do not have the full picture of what it will turn out to be. Honestly, the best time saver is to just not purchase the game at all. Save yourself some money, there are some great new games coming out, check out some indie titles, and pass on this one. But that is all that I wanted to discuss today. I really felt it was important to continue to point out when companies are willing to go this far. But if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a like. And of course, if you did not, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way. And I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.